All right, good evening, everyone. This is LJ Johnson and the B. We are your hosts of the newly show added to Gem OK 86 Radio, the Sports Cave. Um, the B. Go ahead and
Hey,
tell everybody who you are and what you do.
hey, you
The
guys. My
man
name
of
is
many hats, as I call him.
yeah, and I like hats. I like wearing all the different hats. A lot of people tell me that I'm the hat man, so just glad to be here. And from New Orleans, a lot of people know me as you can see my number 9 in the back, my in love and honor of Drew Brees, and of course, also my AFC team is the Kansas City Chiefs. Seems like they're having a challenge right now. I like pretty much everybody. And I'm an unofficial official Philadelphia Eagles fan. So I've been a good fan of football since I was young, and college football, of course, is going to be OU.
That's right. Them Sooners.
Yeah, because I always say sooner or later people get it.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother, he was here. That's the scores right there. We're gonna look at the scores in a minute. My brother, he was here from Phoenix, and he asked me, "What is a Sooner?" Because he was here from our older brother's funeral, and he saw us going to the game. We actually went to the game while he was here and everything. No, I watched the game because I think that was I don't know who we played that day. We played somebody and we barely won. Yesterday's game. We'll talk about college football too. Yesterday's game was the first time that I seen OU play the way I really thought they would. And so I've been waiting to hear. I've been waiting to see that team that was on the field yesterday all year. And but my brother, he was asking me what is the Sooner, and I couldn't give him a good answer that was gonna make us look good. But so in your perspective, what is a Sooner?
Is when I came to Oklahoma back in the day, I always thought a Sooner was a cowboy. But I guess in a way it is a cowboy on the wagon train, and I think that's the motto. That's the yeah. It's like the cowboys are just attacking the land, and the sooner they get there, the better.
Right. Yeah. So they get that, the better. But all right, so this is our first episode. We're just gonna just jump right into it. Uh, you want to talk about NFL or college football first?
Well, since we had it today, we can go back to the college, but let's talk about a little bit about the NFL.
Okay.
Now, my
Uh,
history is I've been a football coach, and I like coaching. I played football, played wide receiver, and I also played defensive end back in the days. But I've always been a lover of football, and especially in the NFL. I grew up in New Orleans, and I grew up during a time when people were wearing the bags and stuff like that with the Saints. They've come along since then, and
they did used to wear those bags back when Mr. Playoffs is that no was he at Indy? But he did coach. Jim Moore did coach y'all.
yes, Jim Moore was one of
Yeah,
our coaches. In fact,
yeah.
their first championship they won was under Jim Moore, and they
It's a
won
long
by they
time
won
ago.
by default. But hey, we always
Yeah,
say as long as you get there, just get there.
yeah.
But I like
Jim
the
Moore.
NFL.
What championship did he win? He
Who's that?
he the
Jim
one to
Moore
beat
was a
he the one to beat He beat Peyton Manning.
no. They won the division. They were
Oh,
division
the division.
champions
Okay.
during the time when Sam Mills and those guys played for the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got
Hmm.
you. Yeah. I haven't coached football. But I did play football, and I've been a football fan my entire life. So I don't know the game from the stance of coach, but I do know the game from player and everything. And then I speak all the time with my good friend Steve Manella. He'll be on the show next week about different different film watching and everything. I studied the all 22 a lot, and so I can see different perspectives all over the field and see why this lineman made this play on this end and what happened because you don't get to see it all on TV, right?
Sure.
So I study the film a lot, and I get to see why is Dak having so much success, or why is Diggs having so much success, or what's going on, you know, on the back end of the play. So that's really important, and I really ask people to try to do that if they can, even if it's just going and watching the highlight on YouTube and rewinding it, just get another trying to get another perspective of the play itself. But guys, we're gonna have a good time. Uh, we're actually co-hosts, so the B he'll be uh, chiming in just as much as me. All right. So you wanna you said you want to talk about college football first?
We're going to talk about the NFL, but I want to say this one thing I always say
Yeah.
as a coach. A team is only as good as the coach who coaches them. I always have this saying that, you draft or you pick up players from different teams and you pay a lot of money for these players to come to these teams. These guys are Heisman Trophy winners, best of the best. Basically everyone tries to go out, but everyone doesn't make the team. But why is it that they have a problem with winning? You have these guys that are Heisman Trophy winners. How come they only last 1 or 2 years? You got to understand that high school football, college football, and the NFL are three different levels of playing. The NFL is much faster, but then again, it always goes back to the coaches. If you have a good coach, it has good coaching scheme that, like you say, looks at a lot of tape, is a studyaholic of the opponent and of football itself. You're gonna have success versus a coach might have been a good coach offensively, maybe a quarterback coach or maybe a running back coach, maybe he might have been an offensive line coach or maybe an offensive coordinator, but it doesn't mean he would be a good head coach or even a coach that wins. So I always look at that as a team is only as good as the coach who coaches them, and you can see that with a lot of these teams who they have great players, but the team on a whole they don't seem to be able to get the job done. And so that's always been my view on that. So I just wanted to share that while we're looking at that, especially with the game coming up. We have the Cowboys and the Vikings, so we'll deal with the Cowboys later.
It's gonna have to be some coaching in that game because Dak is out, and we broke it on JMOQC86 Radio on Facebook page. We broke that Thursday, and the news came out just now, and we have inside sources that works within NFL football. I'm not going to give our source away because he'll get mad at me, but he told us Thursday that Dak was out, and he found out within the Cowboys organization. So we found out Thursday. So let it be known, Jim OKC86 Radio uh, broke it Thursday. We were the first ones, right? But Dak is officially out, so it is going to take a lot of coaching today. Coaching is very more is important and more important in the NFL than the NBA, in my opinion. But especially when you come to scheme and stuff, because you can scheme. Seems like to me you can scheme a lot. The scheme is very more important in the NFL. Maybe it's because you got more players on the playing area on the field. You got 11 players, so maybe that's the reason why. So coaching is very important. Uh, but I
Yeah,
think
but
injuries
also,
too
yeah,
play
exactly.
more of a role in the NFL than the NBA. But uh,
I look at the fact that yes, injuries do an important role on a team. Uh, but one of the challenges I have with the injuries to me is conditioning. Again, your team is only as good as the coach. So whatever kind of conditioning coach, nutrition wise, uh, learning how to do proper stretches, being very strict and regiment concerning the discipline of your players, and them following through with the different training mechanism, the training that you have for them is very important. If they're not eating right, not getting proper amount of sleep, it's like I always tell some of my teenage athletes: study every day, go to bed early. You should always look at tape, look at the best of the best, and you should get proper rest, proper nutrition, and whatever calisthenics, whatever exercises that's needed, whatever that the conditioning coach gives you to do, you need to follow through. And then as a coach, you need to have a strict regimen and discipline to make sure that they do exactly what you've told them to do. Because if not, you're going to pay the price later, and it's going to jeopardize the team and the success of whether or not you win or you lose the game in the end.
well, that's right. I mean, the Bible says, "Study to show yourself approved," right? So that's part of it. I mean, it's not just every situation in life. If you want to be a good athlete, I mean, I wasn't the best athlete because I didn't train outside of the game, outside of practice. I didn't train. like I should have. So you got to watch film. You got to go ask the coaches questions, just like you got to ask the teacher questions if you want to be a good student. Yeah, so I like that you do that because a lot of young people they don't know the the essence of hard work, the importance of hard work outside of when you're made to do it, the time that you're made to do it outside of the practice time. Because
Exactly.
when you're not working, the other person is working.
Exactly.
And so you want to go over
You
the
know,
scores here?
yes. Let's look at some of these scores.
Okay, so Packers and Cardinals played Thursday, and
Yeah, that was a good game, and I just think that the Cardinals had a chance to win. And just again, it's just the areas of the discipline, paying attention, and I think that they gave up that game. Both sides played very diligently, very with a lot of ferocity, a lot, especially on defense. They did the best that they can. But I always say that games are won by defense because you can stop an offense if you have good defense. Good defense allows your offense to rest and then come out and be able to execute it even better if they're not on the field as much. But I think that the Cardinals had a chance to win. But it's just that last series when they had a chance to win,
hmm
and this guy wasn't even looking for the ball. He's going out for the ball, and then I guess the sportscaster was saying that possibly he didn't think the ball was coming to him. Well, that has nothing to do with it. If
well,
you know,
yeah, you need to be your head on the swivel. I mean,
yeah, you need to be alert.
yeah, at that point of the game, you just need to think that the ball will come to you, right? That's what I would think. Now that the
Well,
ball may not be coming, unless Cliff Kingsbury called. See, there goes coaching. So did he call the play specifically for him, or specifically for somebody else? And who's that? That AJ Green was the one that didn't turn
correct.
around.
Yes,
Yeah. So was
but
that miscommunication or something like that? I mean,
But
uh,
even in miscommunication, I mean, run your route. You're supposed to do. I mean, you're supposed to look for the ball. My thing as a wide receiver, I always look to be open. It's like when the quarterback is being rushed, you got pressure on the quarterback. You don't, he's got to think outside the box. And I think this is something that coaches, a lot of them may miss that. Some do and some don't. Break the route. You need to find a way to get open to help your quarterback and be that open person. I was always a person that always wanted the ball, so it didn't matter if the ball
that's
was
every
or
wide
was not
receiver.
coming to me. I'm gonna work to get to that ball, and hopefully, I be the person that the quarterback throws the ball to, and then I'm able to execute properly, either for gaining yardage or possibly the touchdown.
Was you like one of those diva wide receivers? You need to pass me the ball every time. I'm
No,
always open.
no, I always was a person. I was just glad to be on the field.
Oh,
I'm,
okay. That's it. To said the same thing now. That's what he's saying now. But everybody know that was not the truth.
that's
That
not
was,
the truth. The
you
diva
know.
player. Yeah, you got these guys that have to get the ball. Throw me
I
the
mean, when
ball. Why you not getting me the ball? I'm like, what's going on? Why I'm not getting? Be quiet, man. We'll get you the ball when we get. And then quarterback's not gonna throw the ball to you at all because you keep asking for the ball. I'm just gonna make you mad. I'm gonna throw it to the other guy because he's definitely gonna catch it when I throw it to him.
right. Um. Yeah, man. I, I'm wondering what good wide receiver can you think about in the NFL now, not in history, but in the NFL right now that's not a diva.
That's not a diva. Hmm.
I know it's hard, man, because most
Is
of
it
them are.
well, yeah, it's pretty hard. I mean, if you're used to throwing to a certain guy, I mean, come on, we can't say that Mr. Brown on the TB team, we're not gonna say that he's not, but he's a good, it is what it is. If a player is good, that's the guy, that's your go-to guy. But I think that everybody on a team should have the opportunity, and I think that's a great thing for a quarterback to be able to go to different receivers at the same time. It mixes up the offense, it messes with the defense, and it guarantees you that the ball is going to move forward. So I am for that as a coach. Get the ball to as many players that can get the ball to totally take advantage of that defense because they don't know who's coming to it, especially if it's a guy that's new or he's slow or we've watched tape and find out that this is the guy we want to go after. We mix it up, put one receiver on him, put another one on him, put a different one on him, but keep throwing at that guy, get it to your different receivers, but totally pick on that one guy. So I think that's a good, that would be a good scheme. That'd be a good, something
Yeah,
good to
that's
go
what
after.
cause that's what happened, and we'll get to the scores in a minute because your Saints are up by 9 with 124 to go. So
Oh,
we
they
talked
came
about.
back.
We got a comment here. He said, "Leave my Bears alone." That's all right. We'll go easy on. I like what's the quarterback's name?
New
Uh,
guy for the Bears.
Fields. Yeah.
Yes.
His problem is, when you go back and watch all 22, his problem is he doesn't slide the line to the blitz side. So he doesn't know how to make that adjustment at the line of scrimmage for his blocking on his pass blocking. So he can't see the his blind side. He doesn't make adjustments to see that. So that's what's wrong with him right now. Uh, but yeah, your Saints is up by 9. So we talked about coaching and Sean Payton. Um, he came from the Cowboys. We could have kept him if we would have paid him some more money, I think. But he's definitely one of those coaches that makes the difference because he doesn't have Breeze anymore, and he's still getting the job done.
One of the things he's a great play caller. So that's very important as a coach or as an organization. You want to have it, to me, you need to have the person that's in position that can make the right plays. He's got to be smart, he's got to be wise, and he has to be able to have the people in place that's going to execute and make that play happen. And so I think that's one of the greatest things that I know about Sean Payton, that he is a great play caller and he execute. Now, I was watching the Saints game earlier, and Jameis Winston got injured. He got injured way early in the game. The first part of the game looks like he's going to have a knee injury. I don't know if it's a strain knee. I know I watched the play when he went down.
Yeah, let
It
me go
looks
and
like he
see
messed
who
with his.
who's in.
It's in that area of is the area where long injuries do happen. But Simeon came in and like a commander came from the Broncos. This guy came and he just basically took over the game. It's been a back and forth, and of course you have Tom Brady back there, and they were leading for a long time, and then I think it was 22 to something, and then the Bucks came back, but it seemed like they are going back and forth. It looked like the Saints might win this game. They got 42 seconds. I know that they were the defense is the main thing that I see with the Saints. That front line is just atrocious. Is just tenacious. They're tenacious against the run. They rush the quarterback. My only challenge with the Saints in the end is always going to be that area of the secondary. We've been having that problem since I was a boy. I
Right.
think a lot of teams are like that, but for me, the Saints, that is their Achilles heel. That's where you get them the most if you got a very efficient and effective quarterback. And I thought that Tom Brady might get the job done today for them, but I was pulling for the Saints, especially when a guy like Simeon come in. I'm always rooting for the underdog. I wanted to see this guy who hasn't played in a long time. I think it was something like 1,420 something, 490 something days since this guy was actually played or threw a pass, and he drove that first time and he threw a touchdown. So it shows a lot of play selection for Peyton, the coach, and also for the management to select a guy that they can see can come in and take over as a backup and get the job done.
Yeah. I kind of say they get lucky, but I mean that's not luck. I mean, if you can, like you said, he's a great play caller, and he knows the strengths of all his quarterbacks. So, and that's what we're getting ready to find out tonight with Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of um, call. He got a lot of calls in all season about head coaching position and everything because he's done a great job, but he's even done a better job this time. But he didn't do a good job when he didn't have Dak. So I want to see can he adjust the game plan to another quarterback and still be successful. So I know he tried that last year with the Newsy, the Danucci. I'm sorry, I said his name wrong.
Danucci.
Yeah, he tried that last year against Philly. He had a bunch of reverses and everything. I was like, I mean, the guy can't even throw the ball downfield, and you're gonna put him in the game. I mean, so they decided to they made the decision to have him instead of Cooper Rush last year. So now
Wow.
they have Cooper Rush tonight because they decided to have him as backup. And Danucci is terrible, man. He's for the as far as what he did for the Cowboys. Now, I hope that he has great success somewhere else. But when he was on the Cowboys team, he was very bad. He didn't make good decisions. He was out there throwing it in triple and quadruple coverage. Um, and when somebody was open, it was like at his feet. So then he did these sidearm throws all the time. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? But
Mm-hmm.
we're getting ready to see tonight if Kellen Moore can have a good game plan and be successful out there as far as his play calling. Now, for Cooper Rush has some open wide receivers and overthrow them or something like that, hey, that's not on the coach, right? But
No.
that's what I want. That's what I'm interested in. I don't think we're going to win, but I am
Oh no,
interested
nigga,
in
you're
it.
not saying that about your Cowboys, huh? Please, you don't want to do that,
I
because
don't
I'll be
think we're
coming
going to
for
win. I
you.
mean, why would I? I mean, because look, because
Because
I
you have
think
to
I
have
think
you
I
have
think I think if Dak was there, we would go tap. We would go score for score, but I don't think we're gonna be able to go score for score without Dak because I
and that's
think
my challenge.
Minnesota's gonna put on. They're gonna put up points. They got Dalvin Cook. We don't stop the run good. Uh, he's not gonna throw it to Diggs side, but he's gonna throw it to Anthony Brown. Which I mean, Anthony Brown. He's been doing a little bit better, but he's still Anthony Brown. So, and they got a Rudolph. But I don't think we're going to stop the running game. And I don't. At the end of the day, I don't think we're going to be able to score enough points to stay in the game. That's just my opinion. I do hope I'm wrong, but
And so do a
but it
lot of
is
other
Kirk
people.
Cousins, and he will give you the ball. So, but like I said, if you throw us a dig side, we know it's going to happen. But
Well,
at some
my whole
point,
thing,
Diggs streak is going to end. You know.
my thing with the Cowboys is this: like with any team, just because you, and it goes back to my statement about Sean Payton and the management of the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, and the Saints did win, by the way. The final score is
Yeah,
that
I've
the
seen it.
Saints were
Yeah.
victorious in that. And yay, who that say they're gonna beat them Saints? You're not Tampa Bay.
Here we go. Here we go.
And so my thing
I
about,
thought Tampa Bay was going to go undefeated.
no, they're not gonna go. They have some challenges, and I've said this before, and I'll get back to my comment in a minute. But I will say
Yeah.
this: as long as you pressurize, and this is anybody that's known this that knows football, if you put Tom Brady under pressure in any type of
Right.
way,
Right.
it's almost like messing with somebody's toys. They get all frustrated and frazzled, and they don't know what to do. And that's the main thing, and that's one thing that the Saints bring that I haven't seen with a lot of other teams is that pressure of that front line. That front line and the linebacker core is very important to protect the middle and to rush the front, stop the run. These things are happening with the New Orleans Saints, and that's what I'm saying. Defenses win games. Defenses stop the offense, and it allows their offense to come in after a good rest, after being able to study, to look at film from on high. That's what I call it, because they send film from on high, from the top to the bottom, and be able to show it from an aerial point of view.
Yeah,
What
I
is
forgot. They call that the all seeing eye. They
Yes, the
call it
all
the
seeing eye.
yeah, something
Correct.
like that. Yeah.
And that's what happens with Tom Brady. Once he gets rushed, once you mess with him and you mess up his rhythm, once that rhythm is messed up, then you can concentrate on whatever you did at the beginning, which is to stop the run. Because at the beginning they were having an almost effective run, but they began to put that pressure on Tom Brady once he did those two turnovers. One was a fumble, another was an intercept. That's when you start to mess with that quarterback. He's sitting on the side, contemplating how is he gonna, what are they gonna do? How are they gonna stop this front line that continues to pressure him and keep him off his rhythm? And I think that's what happened. And as a result, you got this guy coming off the bench, and that's going to be the news for the Saints. I know that New Orleans is going to go wild over this guy Simeon. And my thing with Jameis Winston is I think he's still an up and coming player, but I have some challenges with him and his inability to get that ball when he needs to get the ball out. And as a result of that, we saw the difference with a quarterback to come in and be able to help the Saints to get the victory. So, but that's just my comment on Tom Brady and the Bucks. The answer to your question or to your statement, I think the Bucks can be beaten. Is just the way that you approach. And I think that the coach for the New Orleans Saints, the defensive coach, they handled the job exactly the way they needed to. They executed and they got the win.
Yeah. I mean, uh, I can't believe how the success, the longevity of success that the Saints have had. It's just amazing, And it seems to me that they keep the same players around. They don't change up a bunch of their players, the franchise players
Yeah.
at each position, and so that's very important as far as you being successful in the NFL. But they've kept their coach, and
That's a good coach. He's a
a
great
lot
coach.
of
He has a
a
good
lot of
coaching staff.
teams have not kept their coach, and
No.
so the ones that have is the ones that's been successful. And but it's about players too, and the
Yeah.
fact that he was in the game with James Winston, they was winning the game, and then
Mm-hmm.
James Winston went out because that's James Winston, and you put in Trevor Simeon, and he still finds a way to win the game with that guy.
The guy was looking
And
good.
Tampa Bay scored 29 points. Let me see,
Mm-hmm.
what 26 or 29? Let me see.
Yeah. Who's that?
27. They scored 27 points.
Mm-hmm. But Alvin
So
Kamara was held. So you got to realize that that passing game was on point because they literally held back the running game. Alvin Kamara, he did score a touchdown. He had a couple of good runs, but overall the running game was shut.
right,
The passing game was what got them and helped them, and that says a lot about the Saints passing cores and their ability. The wide receiver, the coaches, the wide receiver coach, the quarterback coach, and the ability to get past secondary of Tampa Bay, which brings me back to my other statement about quarterbacks. I made that comment earlier. Whatever team, whether you're going to draft a quarterback or whether you're going to pick up a quarterback off the side, off of waivers, a quarterback gets traded, pick him up as far as the uh, when these guys are free agents doing the free agent run. Whenever you pick somebody, you have to look at how they are going to be able to fit your team, your game plan, your scheme of things. And if you're just picking a quarterback based upon because he had past success, but not picking him because he has a certain thing that you're looking for that you need to help complete your team, you're going to have these challenges. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of these teams have, that they have a main quarterback, but once their quarterback goes down, they're pretty much shot. You make the
right,
statement about what's going to happen, what may happen with Dallas. I think that if the offensive coach, if the offensive coordinator, the company, the organization picks a good quarterback, it should be no different if Dak Prescott is out there. Now, I like Dak Prescott. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I do like, if you want to say like Dallas, because I like Dak Prescott. I think he's a
it
A1
ain't gonna
player.
be the same. Now, come on, you can't say it shouldn't be a fall off. It's gonna be some fall off. Like
I don't
you
think it
can't.
should though.
It ain't
It
gonna be a
may,
fall off with the tight end, but
it
Cooper
may, but it
Rush.
shouldn't. It shouldn't matter if you have a quarterback that can get the job done. Nothing
Yeah,
should
but
change.
okay, but okay. So the Saints they won without James Winston, and they won without Breeze or whatever. But are you? So that means you saying that Breeze, that these quarterbacks that the Saints got is just as good as Breeze.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying
That's
is
okay.
in this case, always remember your team, your offense is used to playing with that one player. They have a
Right,
certain cadence, they have a certain rhythm, they have certain receivers. These guys, also off the field. It goes, I always say this, it's not what you're do during practice, but it's what you do after, before and after practice. It's that relationships are important. I think the Philadelphia Eagles coach talked about that, and people miss that. It's not just playing on the field or just going to practice. It's before and after practice. It's relationships. And so these guys get used to playing for a certain quarterback. They get a certain quarterback. A quarterback has a certain throw, the velocity on the ball, the pressure on the ball. You know
right,
how fast that ball is coming. You know how slow it's coming. You know if the quarterback is like you have Aaron Rodgers. One of the things Aaron Rodgers does, he knows how to throw the ball towards the ground. The receiver's able to get. They know that play. They know that player. They know that the player is going to do a certain thing, and so they get used to that cadence, that
right.
rhythm.
Slant route on the 2 yard line.
Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
you
And
gotta
so
throw it down.
if you have a new quarterback that doesn't do that, it should not keep them from executing the play. What it may keep them from, if they haven't played together, is knowing a certain way that a receiver may break the route, or a receiver knows what to do in case the quarterback is about to get sacked, or does he stay in the area? Does he block? What does he do to help? If he's not used to playing with that quarterback and that quarterback is used to doing some other thing, that may mess up the rhythm. But as far as the play getting executed, it shouldn't stop the quarterback from executing the play. So I don't necessarily agree that just because you have a different quarterback that you won't have success. You may not have as much success, but I
That's what
still
I was
think
saying. You may not. You're not. We're not. That's why I'm saying it's gonna be a fall off.
But you
When
said they
you,
may lose. I don't want you to think they may
I
lose.
think they're gonna look.
I don't
Hey,
think the
I
Cowboys
hope
going
I'm
to
wrong.
lose.
I do hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I
But
mean, and I don't even
when
like, and
you
I don't even
when you
like the
look at
Cowboys.
Minnesota's offense, they're going to score points. We do not stop the run. We
That's
don't.
fine, but what about your other players? What if the running game gets good? What if Zeke
So
has a great
that's
running game?
another thing I was gonna bring up. That's
Okay,
another thing I was gonna bring up, right? Like the thing about Dak, and if you listen to all the NFL analysts and listen to anybody talk about why Dak has been being so successful right now, he's making the adjustments and making the audibles at the line of scrimmage when he gets the so every quarterback in the NFL is probably like this in college too, unless you always have to listen, like look to the sideline. Okay, that's the play you want, but they get two calls. They get a run pass and they get a run play and a pass play. So Dak is going up there and making the adjustments. He's barely doing the call that he gets right now. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that Cooper Rush is going to be able to get up there and make those adjustments and throw it to Schultz wide open because he made an adjustment on the linebacker blitz.
I
That's
think the
why I'm
Cowboys are
saying.
going to win. I'm going, and I like a
See, I see what you're doing. See, you saying this just so you could text me all these emojis and everything and talk about me on Facebook. Yeah, so yeah, you just setting it up. That's all he doing, y'all. He just setting it up. That's what cowboy haters do. So
that.
they,
No,
oh no, y'all gonna do
I'm
good.
not a
Y'all gonna do
Cowboy
good.
hater. I like Zeke Elliott. I
You
like this
Steven
new
Smith's
guy.
little brother.
I like the Diggs guy. I like is number 11 Diggs. See, I don't even know. I
No,
like
that's
CD.
Parsons. That's
I love
Parsons.
him. I like them. We can do the preseason and the regular season. And of course, I'm an OU guy. I'm always going to root for CD Lamb. It's not that I don't like the Cowboys per se. It's that as far as the organization, I'm not necessarily in agreement. I'm not going to go there. We're not talking about the political thing about that. We're not going there. Overall, I would root for another team other than the Cowboys. But personal, individual players, I do like. I think they have a better team than last year. Last year, they really
Well,
didn't
Dak
play
was out.
well.
So and that's what I was saying. How good of a we gotta go through these other scores too, but we almost we're getting close to being out of time. But that's what I was saying. How is Kellen Moore gonna do without Dak? Because last year he didn't have Dak.
Well,
And
he had another year to
we've
think about it. He
seen.
had a better year to get better. Another year, he had another season to get better. I think that
Well,
we'll
yeah,
see.
he didn't have his tackles either. He didn't have Martin. He didn't have Lyle Collins. He didn't have Tyron Smith. So
Exactly.
they got them tonight. And
So
well,
I think the
I don't know
next
about
time we
Lyle
come, we should
Collins.
talk about this.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead
don't
and
know
get to
about
your
Lyle Collins.
scores. Go ahead and do your
Okay.
scores.
All right. So Bengals and Jets. Jets won 34-31.
Upset.
Uh, yeah, it's an upset, but we knew that quarterback. I forgot his name. The rookie quarterback for the
Flacco?
Jets. No, the rookie quarterback for the Jets.
Who's that? Not Donald.
Uh, let's get here.
What's the quarterback name?
He went to BYU, and let's see where is going on here. I don't know why he's not showing. Did he not play today? I thought he played. I
Yeah, they
thought so.
played
Zach
today.
Wilson.
Zach
Zach.
Wilson, yeah.
Is,
I like Zach Wilson. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. They
yeah.
just need a better everything else. They're lacking in a lot of things, but I think individually, at least they have the quarterback that's in place. So you build everything around your quarterback, and hopefully they get better next year. But
Oh,
hey, it's an upset today.
they got a good quarterback. They got a good wide receiver. He's a rookie, but to me,
They have the tools. Every team has the tools. It's always going to go back to the coaching. I don't care what anybody else
well, the
says.
problem with like I said, they've been changing. You don't change it because they've been changing their coach
Yeah,
and the GMs forever. But you're in New York, so if you're
yeah.
in New
Oh my
York at
goodness.
all in any capacity, you have to win. If you do not win,
Yes, New York,
the
Philadelphia.
media, and the fans will destroy you.
Our
And it's not
Philadelphia
even
fans are the worst. They will get you.
right. So let's keep going. Let's see, Indy and Tennessee. Tennessee beat Indy.
Yay! I'm
I thought
happy
Indy would win that game, but
for.
Carson Wentz threw a terrible interception.
Well, that's normal.
Uh, I mean,
And
I
that's
was
one
like,
of the things that they're saying about Carson Wentz is that he can get there, but he can't when it comes under pressure, when it comes down to the game being on the line, He
Yeah.
does not deliver. And so I that's the same problem he had when he was formerly with Philadelphia. Now he may put up the stats, and stats mean nothing if you have no wins. I don't care how many yards you have, how many passes you've thrown, how many completions you've made. But if you do not win the game, the fans do not care. It's about the win. Even if you win by 1 point, you still won. It's about the win. And that's the one thing that Carson Wentz is having a challenge with in certain games. He needed to win this game because Tennessee is in the run for that postseason play. And if you want to get to that postseason play, you have to beat these teams like Tennessee. And they didn't get it done today.
Right. And Indy, they have the tools.
They
Right.
got all the tools, yeah.
Except for T.Y. Hilton, he's kind of fallen off a little bit because of injuries. So he's not
Mm-hmm.
the same player that he used to be. Like, he's not the downfield threat like he used to be. So he doesn't really. He has one player that can go down, that can go on a fly route or something like that, that can go deep, but he doesn't have multiple ones like he did in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
But Frank Wright came from Andy Reid's system, so
I
he's
like
got
Frank Wright. He's a great
same.
coach. Uh, but they need to this dude fell.
Right. Oh, he threw a terrible interception,
Sure
and
did.
he was in his own end zone, and he just threw it up, and then Tennessee called it at the 2 yard line, and walked in. So
That's just why.
yeah, L.A. Rams and Houston Texans, poor
Oh,
Texans.
poor
Um,
Houston. Boo. They
but
wearing
this is
they're
the
wearing bags now, like the Saints used to wear.
right. This to me, this is the best team. The Rams, they're the best team in the NFC to me.
The
So
Rams?
yeah, I think the
Well, they
Rams are
better
the
be
best team in the
Seattle.
NFC. I'm always scared of Sean McVay. I don't
Sean
know what it is
McVay.
about him.
They have all the tools.
Yeah,
Their quarterback just needs to be a little bit more consistent when it comes down to the wire, and that's one of the challenges that could hurt them during postseason. But I look for the Rams to get to the postseason.
right. All right. Yeah. Well, they 7-1. They better get there, right?
Well, I'm talking about as far as getting further, like championship.
Well, you know what I
Steelers
got.
and the Browns.
You,
Oh,
you know what I got to say about that.
I don't want to even talk about Baker Mayfield. I don't think that Baker Mayfield. This is my thing with Baker Mayfield. I'm also in arts and entertainment film. Okay, I'm a producer of film, and one of the things that challenges is a lot of these people when you start getting a lot of these commercials and endorsements, and you're so much into that. There's a chance that you can be so into yourself that you fall off your focus as a professional athlete. And I think this is one of the things that has hurt Baker Mayfield. This is just my opinion. Correct me if you can correct me if you're wrong, or you can disagree with me. But I always say the proof is in the pudding. It doesn't look like what it smells like or what it looks like. But you give them a spoon and let them taste, and you'll see what it tastes like. And right now, Baker Mayfield is not tasting too good on the field because he's not making the wise decisions. He's not able to get the ball to the receivers the way he needs to. His choice for receivers is not good. They try, and what happens is you become a one-dimensional team with the run, which they have a great offensive running team. Their offensive backfield is great, but what happens if you're not getting the ball out in the flat with the pass, if you're not hitting those key receivers, you're not getting long yardage with the pass, they only can concentrate on the run, and that's you just got shut down, and you've given the ball over with a punt. And I think that's what you only scored 10 points in 4 quarters. Come on, really?
Well, and if you go down the list of the Cleveland Browns offense, they got the same players as last year. So
And they've had as many Heisman Trophy winners as anybody.
they got Jarvis Landry still, but my Steve told me that Odell Beckham has went way down, and I asked him, I said, "Is it injuries? Is it?" They said they don't know what it is, but he is just not like his route running and everything.
I
Separation
don't
is
think
just
he's
not
happy.
good.
I don't think he's happy.
Yeah, well, he's never been happy.
Well, he's not happy. One,
I
it
don't think
goes
he should
back
have
to that.
left Eli Manning.
It goes back to your ball diva.
Yeah. All right, here's your Eagles scored 44 points on the winless Lions.
And you know how
Um,
the Eagles won today? They won on the run. Every touchdown they made today was on the run. They had a great running game. They finally went to the running attack, and they used it on a Detroit team who's winless. But unfortunately, it's unfortunate that the Lions didn't win. And people say, well, they beat them because they're a sad team. Well, no, these guys are still NFL team, NFL caliber team. You have a good quarterback. with the Detroit Lions. Has a good quarterback, but they just didn't get the job done. But the thing that beat Detroit today was the run. Jalen Hurts did not have an extraordinary passing game, but he himself, I think he scored 71. He gained 71 yards today running. This is what beat the Detroit Lions team, and I think that if they would have capitalized on it when they could have, they would have had a better score, and they may have stopped the Eagles. But today was not the day for them to do that.
Yeah, you know, Dan Campbell, he was a cow. He's a cowboy. So I feel for him. The Detroit Lions are so bad that, and I know Jason Blanco. I know you out there listening, or you will listen, because he's a Cowboys hater, but he's a Detroit Lions fan. And I think that's just so funny. I don't even really go back at him when he tags me on Facebook on these memes, these Cowboy memes, and I'm like, bro, you're Detroit Lions fans, but it's okay. But they're so bad that they made the coach cry. So I'm upset at the players because you made Dan Campbell cry. He's a Cowboy and everything. So I'm really upset at Detroit right now at the players because they made the coach cry. But I got a hot take about Detroit Lions, the franchise, the organization. It is the worst franchise in sports history. So if you can get me one that you think is worse, let me know. But I think the Detroit Lions is the worst franchise in sports history.
In history, and I think that's the reason why Barry Sanders he quit football. They wouldn't trade him.
Alvin Johnson.
Allen Johnson. Yup.
Yeah. They
They
look it up. Look it up. We just looked at the Rams. Look at Stafford. I mean, well, that's Sean McVay. He's Sean McVay, and Stafford hasn't had a coach stay there. But I thought he was gonna be. I thought he was gonna. I thought he had a very good chance to win with the Jim Caldwell. But that dude he keep getting new coaches too. Um, San Fran, one of my
San
favorite cities.
Francisco pulled
My
it
favorite
out
city. My favorite
against
city
the
to
Bears,
vacate
right?
against the Bears.
What happened? The Bears, another one, with always having a different quarterback, not
No,
ever
he
being
was
able
in
to get
there.
a solid quarterback. Well, no,
19 to 27,
yeah, but
175 yards.
that's the main thing you have to solidify is
Oh,
your
103
quarterback.
rushing yards.
Man, that's not good.
No, you don't want your quarterback to, unless it's Lamar Jackson or something like that.
I know,
But
I know. Lamar
but
Jackson. Oh, well, that's a total different thing there. Lamar Jackson. We'll talk about him another time.
right,
Which I call him Baby Hands Jackson.
because you got small.
Small hands.
Remind me of Trump. See,
Look
look at my hands.
at my hands.
Look at my hands.
Woo! We'll talk about that another time. People with small
Right,
hands.
right. Carolina and Atlanta. Yes, that's your
Now I'm happy
division.
for Carolina. I'm glad Carolina won today because when Christian McCaffrey went down, it looks like the whole team went down. Again, goes back to my saying, team is only as good as the coach who coaches them. You only have one guy that can come off that's playing for you, that's going to make the team, that's going to ignite the team, that's the momentum for the team. And then when he falls, they fall. No one else can come in, and that was what happened to Carolina for those few games that they lost 1, 2, 3, 4 games as a result of Christian McCaffrey going down with an injury. So hopefully we can come back. And I have to give it to you though, Christian McCaffrey, that dude is one hard player. That guy can play the game. He's solid. He's smart. And he's one to be reckoned with. People don't want to touch him. They don't want to tackle him because when he hits you, you're going to be calling your mama up crying that somebody hurt you on the field. So it's an area where if they could help that area, if they could really capitalize on getting better players to come in the game and take over and when another player goes down, I think that's a team that will definitely people will be watching them and really get ready to play them a little bit more strategically.
Uh, Calvin Ridley, he walked away from the team for personal reasons. So he did not play today. He walked away from the team. He's got some personal stuff going on. So we don't really whatever's going on, we're definitely praying for him. So he didn't
Yes.
play today. But Kyle Pitts, he's a beast, and he has 6 targets but 2
Mm-hmm.
interceptions, and so I mean to me that's got to be one of the reasons why you lose, right? He's got to get at least 10 targets, at least 10 targets,
Wow.
because Waller Waller
Uh,
for the Raiders, he gets he gets 10, and you know the defenses they line up to stop him, but he still gets 10. So you got to find a way to give him the ball. But Matt Ryan looks like he's ready to give up.
well, how old is Matt Ryan? About 50?
I think him and Aaron Rodgers are the same age, right? I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen his days, and he's a good player. But I think also I agree with you. They need to bring somebody in to a rescue, which brings me to what's that? The Florida team, the with Lawrence, with Trevor Lawrence,
Oh,
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, we got to get to them now.
Yeah, we got to get to Jacksonville
Here's
because
another Florida team, Miami.
Miami.
Uh,
Oh,
Justin Flores, man, I thought he was. I know he's upset. 'Cause he to me he's a good coach, but they 1-7 right now, and
yeah. Well, again, that goes back to that whole
Tua.
coaching thing.
That's normally your Alabama players don't they get you wins in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
but right
Yeah.
now Tua is not getting the job done.
Well, again, it goes back to what I was saying. Team is only as good as the coaches and see. Because this is the thing. What you got to realize is these guys, since maybe sometimes since they were little boys, they were being mentored and coached, led, and given instructions from a coach, from some type of coach or male role model, and they're used to listening to that person who they built to that person in that system that they're playing after. And so
Yeah,
lots of time, if you don't have a player that's smart enough to think for themselves, to think on the run and be able to change things up, to make things happen, to be a playmaker, they're going to only play based upon how they've been coached, and that's the big challenge with a lot of people in the NFL. They come from these teams, and then if you look at some of these NCAA teams, what type of abuses that they go under. That when they come back they go to a team, these unresolved issues psychologically they haven't dealt with them, and that's why you have what you have. So you got a player like Tua that's as dynamic as he is. Why is he not winning? Well, can't necessarily as a player. Maybe he hasn't been taught to think out the box. Maybe he needs a Frank Reich type coach to be able to help him to move to and go to another level. And I think that's going to be the plus side of Carson Wentz going back to Indianapolis, that even though he has these challenges, at least he's starting to be a little bit more consistent, a little bit more loose, and he's back with the person that originally mentored him. So I'm only using Frank Reich as an example because he's a quarterback coach, and that's how he has developed relationships with his players. And I think it's very important for the quarterback to be able to have that relationship with their coach, with their offensive line, to understand the different things that are needed to help their team win. Without that, you're going to have a challenge, and I think that's what you're experiencing with Miami.
yeah. Flores is a defensive coach. He came out of Bill Belichick's system,
Mm-hmm.
so he's Bill Belichick's protege. So the defense for the most part is pretty good. I mean, you got two
Mm.
lockdown corners on the outside. They just need to work on the in between that. So that's my thought on Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, you
Let's
got to also remember the Buffalo Bills. I mean, these guys, another team that had a questionable, even though he's great coming out of college, he was questionable. People thought about, but look at him, he's coming to his own with
oh,
Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen.
This
Yeah.
dude, there, man. I mean, and he's gangster. I call him. Is a term that I'm gonna use, and you guys are gonna hear. It's gonna be saying that dude is gangster. That guy will get up, he'll run, he'll dive head first. He's not a slider. He's a
Well,
diver.
if I was big as him, I would too. I mean,
Yeah,
why not?
he's a diver, man. And and
Yeah.
and then if you mess with him, just like Ryan Fitzpatrick, he'll beat you up. So he's not someone to just mess with, and I think that's a plus for the
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills, who haven't had a dynamic quarterback since they had Jim Kelly. So I think they have a good run towards the end of the season. Definitely one of the favorites towards postseason.
Well, yeah, they are. We'll get in that. We'll get into our. We'll do top five next week. We're getting top five of both conferences next week.
Okay.
Because I guarantee my list ain't gonna be yours.
Especially if it's including the Cowboys, even though today I think they're gonna win.
It's including them, but see, thing is, I'm a realistic Cowboys fan, and I'm not like most Cowboys fans, right? Most Cowboys fans, as soon as we win the game, yeah,
Oh, that's the
Super Bowl
Saints.
bound.
That's the
I'm
Saints
like,
fans.
come on, y'all, it's just 5-1.
The
right.
Who Dat fans are like that. Saints going to the Super Bowl. They see they beating the say like they played Detroit Lions 5 times.
Oh, I know. There's a rapper. I ain't gonna say his name, but he lives in Sacramento, California. But he was, he used to get on. He used to be texting me all the time and Facebook messaging me about his Saints and all that. Then when they lost at home to Minnesota, what was that? 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "You all right?" And then and dude didn't say nothing back. So anyway, so LA Chargers against the Patriots.
I'm shocked at this, but I think I shouldn't be shocked because again, Bill Belichick is a great coach. He's won how many Super Bowls? So when you look at
About
the fact that this man has had so much success,
yeah,
he is to me the prime example of a rebuilder. He's going to rebuild the Patriots into a formidable opponent, and I think that they're going to have some challenge. And right here, beating the Chargers, uh, who seemingly had a balanced team. Uh,
they do. They got a balanced team. They got
yeah,
the best safety in the league. They got the top five defensive end in the league. They got a up and coming great middle linebacker,
yeah,
in
a
the
very
league,
balanced team. They
and
should
that's
have
very
won.
yeah, yeah. But you know, uh, Bill Belichick, the quarterback Mac Jones he's pretty decent.
Yeah, he's gonna be
Yeah,
better. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be another. Well, I'm not saying it too
right.
early,
As
but
a
I think it might
rookie,
be
and
another
it's
TB
it's
in the
crazy
making.
as a rookie, you already got your footwork right. So
Hmm.
that's the greatest thing about Mac Jones. His footwork is already good. He's
Yeah.
already, he doesn't have, so his feet are where it needs to be. And that's
That guy got
anything,
caught.
huh?
That guy got caught. How you catch a guy, man? You gotta.
Well, defensive backs are faster than tailbacks.
Well, the thing is, you run on your toes, not on your feet. You run on
Right.
your
Especially
toes.
on turf. Right.
Yeah, turf. You don't run on your feet from heel to toe. You run from toe to toe.
Yeah.
That's the
All
challenge.
right.
That's a coach again.
Right. there's there's your Jaguars.
Oh
That's
my goodness! And
the
Seattle
fighting
finally
the
won a
fighting urban
game.
the fighting Urban Myers. Uh
Okay, this is my thing about college coaches coming to the pros. That's a challenge.
Pete Carroll is a beast. Pete Carroll and Sean Payton are the same to me.
Yeah. The thing about it is that you cannot, I mean, you're
But
coming from college. Urban Meyer's a
Geno
winner
Smith,
in,
he's
in
been
college.
playing for a long time. He's
Huh?
been in the league for a long time. So
Who's that?
I expect him to have some success. Geno Smith.
Oh, Geno Smith is is
Yeah.
is outstanding. But I don't think that I think the Jaguars could have scored more than 7 points. Come on, really?
Yeah. They lost. I think they lost
They
DJ
won in
Shark.
London though, right?
They lost DJ Shark early in the year.
Come on,
And
you can win. There's that. I mean, at least score some points. Win by lose by 5 or something like
I
that.
mean, you tell me who you gonna throw the ball to. Dan Arnold, Carlos Hyde, Jamal Agnew, Marvin Jones. And let me guess, you don't even know who that is, do you?
Who's that?
These people that I'm naming.
That was what I was answering. That's my answer. Who's that?
Yeah. So who's he throwing the ball? He can't throw the ball to nobody right now. They have to get in the draft and then free agency and Urban Meyer, he'll do it because he's an offensive minded coach. I think Jaguars will be all right. I don't know what happened to their defense and like what's the plan with that. Why do they you let Ramsey go, but you let the rest of the defense fall off. I don't understand what happened with that.
It goes back to my statement.
Right. Well, they
Coach.
just got they changing coaches. So your statement represents somebody that's always there. So if your coach is always there, well, that's because it's good.
Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that. Yeah, I understand it, but they're not exactly changing coaches like every season. I mean, the thing about it is that even with you changing coaches, some of these coaches are staying at least 3 or 4 years. They're not changing coaches every single year. My whole thing about it is that even if a player goes to another team, if I coach a player this year, my coaching system, I coach kids all the time, and I'm not even a coach on their team. And then they go to those schools and they start improving on their team, and they're like, "Wow, what happened to my player? He's greatly improved." Well, you got a coach like Coach Brian, that Coach B, that's out here coaching them. It's not about whether or not the coach you have a different. It's the type of coach. It's not necessarily because you have a different coach, because you should be able to take the stuff that you learned from your previous coach, bring it and add it to your arsenal. It's almost like the Bruce Lee method. I'd call it chew the meat, spit out the bones. You take what's useful, you get rid of the rest, and then you bring to another team what you've learned, and you add that to your arsenal. Like I say again, it's about the type of coach, not
Well,
necessarily
when you
a
talk
different
about
coach.
coaches coming from college, what's the biggest hurdle they have? The recruiting thing. They can't go recruit their players, and because it's all about how much money the salary and what the GM wants and all that stuff. So that's the biggest hurdle they have to get over is the recruiting
This is
battle.
true. I
Um,
agree.
Washington, Denver. Okay, the football team. I'm sorry, Steve. They didn't get the job
Oh, the
done today.
WFT.
The they were always they're not gonna be good until they get a mascot. The players
I
don't even
call
have any
them.
pride right now. That's the problem. They don't have any pride.
I call them the
Pride in
Clint
what?
Eastwood team. The man
Yeah,
with no
they
name. You know,
well, we the pride of Washington D.C. Well, they really in Maryland, but
they're in Mar.
yeah,
So they have identity crisis right now. They have
right.
an
They just down
identity
the
problem.
highway there. But
I know he's gonna come on here next week.
yeah, he'll be on next week. He'll be on crime. But we already
Washington
talked
football
about
team.
we
Oh
already
my
talked
goodness.
about
They got them. What's that? The Alabama numbers. It's just
right.
yellow.
Oh yeah, well thank y'all for joining us today. We're gonna be here every Sunday night. It's 6:15 p.m. right here on Jam on 86 Radio Facebook page and also YouTube channel. I've already shared this on my page, Biblical. I'm sorry, the B. See, the thing is, you got so many names, I can't. It's also he's going the B is going to be starting a show on the station Friday and Saturday nights. Go ahead and tell them about that, the B.
It's gonna be the fire of the holy hip hop, Christian hip hop nation that we're gonna be bringing it. It's gonna be something really nice. We'll have a award winning and some very uplifting, positive hip hop, gospel hip hop, Christian hip hop, and just being positive all the way. And we hope you guys will tune in. We may have other what you call new artist showcases where we showcase new artists and maybe play just their music for that time period and other things. Come have some interviews that where people will come on and we'll talk about them, ask them questions about how they got started, what are they doing now, some of the things they involved with, and the reason why they do what they do. So hopefully you guys will be able to tune in. It's going to be from 7 to 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays right here at jamokc86.com.
Okay, so jamokc86radio.com. We're gonna be posting this video on there as following. Well, I'll probably wait till after the first drive of the game and then I'll post it on there. But we'll post it on the website so you guys can go back and watch this and see what you missed. Also, go ahead and share with your friends. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm still working on the Twitter page, but I cannot, maybe because of the pandemic or whatever. But Twitter customer service is not hitting your boy back at all. I don't know what it is. No, I cannot get the customer service to hit me back on getting the station's Twitter page going. I don't understand what it is, but y'all can catch us up on Instagram and Facebook. Also follow our YouTube channel, and also go ahead and download the Google Play app, Jam on KC86 Radio. If you have an Android phone, we did. We all working
Boom!
on. We all working on. We all working on the Apple app for you iPhone
Yay!
users out there. It should be next week. We should launch it next week. So good. So you'll be able to download it on your iPhone as well. But keep it locked right here. We will see you guys right here at 6:15 p.m. And you will be able, if you want to come on the show, just let us know in the comment section, and I'll send you the link, and you can click on it, and you can come on the show. Your video will pop up and everything. Now, if you're looking all crazy, we may talk about you, but or your video will pop up and everything. You'll be able to come on the show and ask us questions or yell at the B because with all his crazy Cowboys hater talk. So till next time, we'll see y'all later. This is
At least
LJ
tonight,
talk.
I'm not hating on the Cowboys. You guys
Just
listen,
give
I'm
it
rooting for
time.
the Cowboys tonight and tonight
Just
only.
just give it time. Just give it time. Y'all watch them on Facebook. But anyway, thank y'all for watching us today. Thank y'all for joining us. This is the Sports Cave. We are your host, LJ Johnson and the B.
The
Till next
bee.
time. See y'all next time. Have a good
Bye
night.
bye. Have a great day.